Do you feel a lot of pressure about what to do on New Year's Eve or how to spend the final day of 2025? If that's the case, I'm here to introduce to you one of my favorite techniques, which I like to use to determine how will I be spending this particular event, how will I be spending this particular day. I find this so effective and I've used it over and over again. Basically, what we're doing is we're trying to understand what are the energetics out in the planets and how does that align with our chart. What I have found is that we usually have a sensibility around what it is that we're actually feeling. However, we get distracted by the noise out there, whether it's societal pressure, whether it's our friends or our family, about how it is that we're supposed to spend this day. Now, remember that unless your birthday is around the 31st of December, this is not your new year. So there's not actually that much pressure, but this is just a fun video to say, listen, there are many ways to look at this, and this is one of them. Some of it may resonate with you, and some of it may not. It really is very much chart dependent. Now, I recommend listening to this via rising sign. It's really just a quick short lines to get you thinking about what are some of the energetics that's happening in those couple of days in order for you to decide how you want to spend New Year's Eve. Aries rising, you have full permission to play. And what I mean by that is the last couple of years have been a period of contemplation. There might have been some restructuring, thinking about what it is that you're trying to achieve out in the world. And so I'm not saying that whatever you do on December 31st is going to let go of all of that contemplative energy. But what I'm saying is that for that particular day, it's actually got a much more playful, curious spirit to it. And instead of feeling like Sisyphus rolling a rock up a hill, which might have been parts of the last couple of years, you have an opportunity to have a little bit of freedom and get a little playful. The next couple of years are going to be super important for you, maybe one of the most important in your life. And so don't think too hard about December 31st. Taurus rising, the last couple of months may have had a lot of ups and downs. And even the last couple of days leading up to the New Year's Eve might have been a little bit bumpy. So by the time we reach New Year's Eve, maybe you're not feeling so festive, or the idea of planning to go out is a little bit overwhelming. I say just take care of yourself. Do what sounds right for you. Do what it is that you need to take care of your own needs. Look after yourself, rest, get the right amount of food in your body, nourish yourself, all that good stuff. There is still this energy of adventure in your chart. So whether that is thinking about going on a trip, taking an actual trip, or really thinking about what it is that you want to get out of the year, that energy is still there. I would actually rather use the new moon around the 17th and 18th of January for that purpose. You're going to get a lot more out of it. Don't give yourself that pressure to do all of it by December 31st. Rather enjoy December 31st with whatever comes along, whatever feels good to you, and then use the new moon around the 17th and 18th of January to get into full planner mode. Gemini rising, there's something sparkly in the air, and it's you. We have a beautiful Gemini moon happening on December 31st, which makes you super magnetic, which makes you a little bit emotional. So take what other people say with a grain of salt, but nonetheless, it's an opportunity to be a little bit frivolous, hang out with your friends, do something fun for yourself. And I'm saying that because the last couple of months might have been a little bit stressful. There may have been a lot on your plate. Relationships might have been a little bit of a struggle. So this is one where you can just have a little bit of fun. December 31st is going to be great. Now, if you're spending time with a family member, if you want to do something really romantic with a partner, but even if you are just looking for a hot date, I encourage you to go out and have a good time. You never know what you might find. Happy New Year. Cancer rising, there are a lot of people to cater to at the moment. But for the purposes of December 31st, I really recommend to pull yourself away from society and do something good for yourself, a little bit of contemplation, a little bit of inner work. I'm saying that because the last 6 months, there has been a resurge of personal development, of a new identity, stepping into something new, and you still have another 6 months of that. So actually we're sandwiched in between this time to take a little bit of a pause, take a little bit of a breather. It doesn't mean that you have to go on a trip that's far away, but even take a little bit of time for yourself will be helpful under this transit. Now remember that around the 3rd of January, there is a supermoon in Cancer. So this is going to be an opportunity for you to blast out full steam ahead, which is why I'm saying that take a couple of days at the end of the year for just a little bit of R&R. Leo rising, this is the perfect opportunity to kickstart your health journey. So actually, you've got this classic New Year reset going for you. The actual 31st, you may be getting a lot of invitations to go out and hang out and play, but the general theme and mood at the moment is actually about how you want to wake up in the morning and what you want to do every day. So I actually just recommend bring your friends in on the ride, reinvigorate your health journey together. Start the day fresh. Now remember, the 3rd of January is going to be a Cancer full moon, and that's going to be a really great time for emotional and physical purging. So you actually have the whole week to kickstart that health journey. Virgo rising, this is one of those interesting ones where you might feel like staying at home and really not hanging out with too many people, but your friends are telling you to come out and play. And there is this kind of playful energy going on in your chart right now, so that may win. Bear in mind that if you go out, you may feel like you wish you stayed at home, or if you stayed at home, you wish you went out. It's just one of those tug-of-war transits. Now, if you stay at home, don't overanalyze the whole year. Do something that's grounding for you. And if you do decide to go out, know that this is not the indicator for what's going to happen for the next 365 days. Libra rising, there's something cozy about being at home, but there's also something adventurous about this particular chart. So on December 31st, you may choose to try a new hike, go on a new route, do something adventurous and nourishing for your soul. This is a very nice transit for spending time with friends, so taking your friends on this adventure. And I'm saying that also because once we start the new year, you're not going to have that much time for this, especially since we have a supermoon around the 3rd of January. That's going to light up your career in a big way. So now's the time to do something fun and grounding at the same time. Scorpio rising, there's something witchy about December 31st. So if you want to do something like draw a tarot card or do a ritual, you may be more inclined to do so on that date. Now, this is actually kind of a social period, so you still might be going out and meeting people and hanging out with friends and doing something with the people in your life. But on the actual 31st, there may be a slight moodiness to it. So either include your friends or know that if you are going to go out and have a nice time, there's still a part of you that's connecting to something else. Sagittarius rising, December 31st, people may be calling you to come out and hang out, have a good time, and enjoy the new year. That being said, you may not be in a wholly blowout mood because it's been a contemplative year. There may have been a lot of things that you've had to deal with internally. Now, the 31st is actually a very nice time to go out and spend time with people, but maybe do it with people that you truly, truly care about and that truly care about you. That's going to really balance the energy a bit more, and it's going to allow you to enjoy the 31st, which has a somewhat sociable energy to it, without feeling overextended. If you still feel like you need a few days of contemplation, then I recommend the full moon on the 30th. That's going to have a much more contemplative energy, and it's going to lend more itself to that activity. So you can divide and conquer it this way, enjoy some time with your friends on the 31st, but use that first few days of January to go inwards. Capricorn rising, you may not really be in charge of your own schedule right now. So thinking about December 31st might feel a little bit fritzerama. I suggest roll with the punches, see how you go. Now, if you're in a partnership, you may feel like your partner is driving you crazy that night. Try not to take it out on them. But just know that this is going to be a pretty full-on time, and plans may be made for you on December 31st. Things are going to be busy until around mid-January. So go ahead and plan for that to be the case. And if you are really looking for a reset opportunity, use the 17th and 18th of January for that occasion. That will be much more of a reset than December 31st will be. Aquarius rising, this one is all about pleasure and fun. So if you are going to go out, expect it to be frivolous, expect it to be a little bit adventurous, and for sure your demons will come out and play with you. So that being said, if that is something you're trying to avoid, let this be that warning. At the same time, if you're looking for some type of different approach to New Year's Eve, you might consider a silent retreat on this occasion. There can also be some helpful benefits, and you might be able to connect yourself to a deeper way, especially since this year has been largely about your own health and your well-being. Pisces rising, the energy is actually a little bit more home-centric. But what I mean by that is you might invite a few friends over to your home, and do something like a massive vision boarding, mood board type situation to envision what 2026 might look like for you. I still really like this particular period for that type of vision boarding, but for the purposes of the New Year's Eve, you might want to include all your friends in the game. Now, if you do go out, just know that there's some part of you that might still feel like, I wish I kind of stayed at home, but that's okay. It's not forever, and we know that 2026 is going to be quite a different year for you.